Hey, yo, what's going on? Welcome to A Difference of Opinion. It's your boy, Smacky McLitty.
And it's your girl, Miss Kick Rocks. We here at it once again
Come
for
on.
the third episode. Y'all ready?
Hat trick. What's going on?
Not the hat trick.
The hat
we
trick.
playing hockey now.
Come on, straight up, like that, man. This is going to be a good one. We've been going strong these last two shows, man. So
yeah, we got a lot of support, so thank you so much
Absolutely.
for everybody that is tuned in for the first two episodes. Special shout out to everybody that hit that subscribe button for us. If you haven't already, make sure you check us out in the description box below so you can go ahead and make that happen.
Yeah, like it, subscribe it, follow us, do it all. Do it all while you can. So Brett, what's up? How you been?
I've been good. I ain't got no complaints. It's getting this a little cold, you know.
It's that Virginia weather for you. You got to stay on your toes at every time.
Absolutely. I think the weather dropped 40 degrees overnight. So I think everybody's going to be sick.
Yeah, I saw a whole bunch of white brethren and sisterin out there and Daisy Dukes the other day.
Flip-flops heavy.
What? Oh my God. I'm like, yo, y'all doing way too much.
Everybody going to have whoop and cough by Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I am not included in that number.
Maybe I am. I'm gonna go hit the therapy though. I'll make sure I do that. Well, what's good? Valentine's Day is this weekend, Kels. You got anything planned?
Nah, nothing planned. It's just another day for me.
It's just another day.
Yeah, I mean, I know I know it's special for you ladies in most cases.
I just feel like that.
What you mean? I guarantee you right now they're wondering why you just said that. It's, of course, important to women and those who feel like they should be on somebody's mind during this day. It's like Christmas for me. I just don't get excited no more.
You don't get excited for Christmas either?
Nah, man. I think Valentine's Day was really dope when we were all in elementary school and you was passing out them sweethearts. Sweethearts
are trash.
Yeah, I hated the sweetheart. But that's when the days was easy. As a grown man, now it's like, it's obviously a different aspect. Like Christmas, as a parent, it's just a different feel. I think you should show your love to an individual or your loved one throughout the year.
I'm not mad at that, but I think Valentine's Day is a day that you're just supposed to celebrate love, So when it comes to Valentine's Day, I know for me personally in my household, that's something that I celebrate with my daughter because I want those traditions to, I want her to get used to being celebrated and, just celebrating the love that we have for each other. Not anything necessarily big, but we do make a memory out of it. And overall, I mean, I don't agree with you, buddy. I think Valentine's Day is for everybody. Like, if you got a boo, it's a day to celebrate, what y'all are doing together. I don't think it should be all about the woman. I think that's really unfair. And
I think that's where it comes down to. That's why I say as a grown man, Valentine's Day sucks. Like, we're not the ones being thought of. We're the ones that's supposed to be thinking about somebody.
That's completely false, bro.
What you mean? Maybe you're the exception to the rule, Brett, but we've already discussed this.
Thinking about somebody and them not be thinking back at you, then you were just a sucker.
That very true. But the fact still remains that a woman is expecting a gift and a man is not.
Well, I just feel like you might have picked the wrong woman. In some way, shape, or form, okay? Yeah. If you're sliding her the D, and you're doing it right, you should have a steak, a blowjob,
So Brett, what if you're not sliding the D? Maybe you're dating, you're trying to do things the right way. So sex isn't even a part of it, right? Okay. You're just getting to know someone. In those particular cases, should a man still expect something?
I think so. I think that if a woman expects something, then she should expect to do something for her man. I didn't say how big it had to be,
right?
But you should have some formal expression of that you care about this person you're trying to build. Because if you just started dating and you're not actually being intimate with one another, then you're setting the precedent on how you guys are going to celebrate your love each and every year. How you guys, spend time together and just make an effort. If you're not making an effort early on, then what are we doing? And again, that goes back to last week's episode, Kels, setting that proper expectations. If you let your shorty, you buying her X, Y, and Z, these lavish gifts, and you get nothing in return,
Yeah, absolutely. I think the case has become, though, whereas it's almost like a wedding is all about the woman. It's never about the man is enjoying the fact that he's getting married as well. Like he's deciding to spend his life with somebody else. It's just about the woman, the bride, whatever she wants to do, whatever it needs to be based off of her. And I think Valentine's Day is exactly what that's become. It's all about, you know, what she is to receive.
It's like shorties wonder why like dudes be wanting to cheat and have several women. That's why.
But Valentine's Day is nothing more. It's nothing more than the size of an engagement ring. It's to show off other people that, oh, this person cares this much about me. But it don't matter. If you're doing that throughout the year, if you're spending time, if you're giving gifts of love because I thought about you and it's just happened to be Tuesday, or whatever day it is, then the weight of Valentine's Day should be minute. Like,
I don't feel like it's a huge weight, but I feel like that's a time in which we are going to express some type of act of love, period. You know, before I was dating my significant other, he was in a previous relationship, as was I. We were completely just platonic friends. And his partner at the time, due to religious reasons, did not, you know, practice or acknowledge different holidays and things of that nature. And I remember having that conversation with him where he was like, I mean, I'm not mad about it, but I mean, it is nice to have that time to like, where you know that you got a designated time to do something, like on your birthday. It's a designated time to do something, maybe your anniversary. These are the days that you're going to put an effort to do something fun. And I just think that that's a huge miss. And to go back to your point, what you said earlier, I don't think that weddings are all about the woman. I think traditionally they have been, but now guys are becoming a lot more invested, to the point of on Friday at work, I was talking to one of my homegirls, love her to death. She's solid. She's getting married in like 2 months.
Okay, where?
She got a very, very nice ring, you know, for her engagement, and her soon-to-be husband, her fiance, works in a job where he utilizes his hands a lot. I think he's like a welder or something. So she wanted to get him something. He just wanted something simple, right? And she was like, you know, well, I think you should get something nice. Like, look at all of this that you got for me. You know, I think you should get something nice. And she knows him. He likes nice things. Right. So she kind of like was like, you know, keep looking. I'm going to get you 2 rings, one for work and one for whenever else. Okay. When she got to work on Friday, she was hot because she was like, I cannot believe that he asked for this Cuban link wedding band with the diamonds in it. This joint was going to cost me like $5,000 to be custom made from K Jewelers, and she was hot because she didn't feel like his ring should cost as much as hers.
But why not?
My point exactly. which is the point where he gonna be wearing this ring forever. Right. You know what, a woman, a lot of times women get their ring upgraded on anniversaries and stuff like that. Men, they never get those things, and they care too. You know, their wedding is going to be non-traditional. You know, they're going to be wearing Jordans and denim, and part of that is because he was invested in the process as well. And I think that that's awesome. And I'm really happy for her that she's got a man that is her partner in everything, you know, and they're doing it together, because I feel like they're going to stand the test of time for sure, because they're equally yoked. And that's dope. I think when you have both heads on the table, and both are invested into showing love to each other and appreciation to each other, then that's golden. That's grand. But unfortunately, I just don't believe that that's the status quo. I can guarantee you right now that some men are going to be able to take their ladies out on Valentine's Day, have a nice dinner, and there will be women that will be mad that that their man didn't give them anything that they can go and tell their girls about. Yeah, the expectation of I need to have something to show off, I feel like it's becoming, it's like the commercial. Because it's no different than a dude, and there are guys out there that feel like, okay, well, I took you out to Red Lobster, so you should give me some kickback when we get back to the crib. It's no different. He got an expectation. I paid on it. I put something on it. You ain't hungry no more. So what's up? It's the same thing. But that's why when you start a relationship, it goes back to episode 2. If you have not checked it out, check it out. Make sure you go back, because we're talking about expectations. If I'm dating somebody and you ain't trying to show no love on Valentine's Day, you're not trying to court me. You're not for me. And I'm not one of those women who I'm always looking for a come up. I'm looking for somebody else to do something for me. Right. That's not the case. I work hard. I get what I want, but my dad raised me. Right. And I never wanted for nothing. So my love language is gifts.
Okay. And that's dope. And I think
if you ain't buying me nothing, you ain't rocking with me.
But maybe that's not the case though. Maybe some people wasn't raised in a sense where gifts were a big thing. Like for instance, my birthday has never been a big thing for me. Like I just, I had a party maybe when I was a kid, but just growing up after like, maybe 7 or 8, just, yeah, it's your birthday. You know what I mean? But to other people, it's like, yo, it's my freaking birthday. I need this, that, and the third. This is going to happen. Matter of fact, it's the whole month. Like,
I can relate to that because my birthday is like a week before Christmas. So no one ever is able to, one, afford it, have the free time, or leave to do anything fun. So I can relate to that. I just think that, when that's your love language, it is what it is. It's just like your learning style. You don't really change that.
Right.
And so if you're going to be with someone, you have to be with someone who is aligned with that and that can speak your love language.
Absolutely.
If you like acts of service, but I'm all about gifts, I'm going to be trying to show you through I don't care about big gifts. It could be something like my favorite pastry from Lidl. Right. My man just did that last week. Like, look what I got you. Gas, because I'm fat. Gas. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to do that for you, Kels, and you want acts of service.
Right.
That's how you receive love and perceive love. If I get you something, it don't matter how much money I spent, how many hours I went to the mall to put thought and love into it, you're not going to fully be able to appreciate that. So if I'm going to be with Kelly and I see the value in Kelly, I have to understand that and acknowledge that and be willing to be flexible in how I give and receive love and make sure that I can tailor that to your love language. Absolutely. If I can't do that, we can't be together, or vice versa.
I agree. And I think those things, as far as how your love language is, you speak that love language 24/7. Even if you're not getting a gift every day, but in just the way that you love is showing that. We're just talking about specifically on Valentine's Day. Is it the expectation that I better get a gift? Like, so I can show off, and I just think the expectation is exactly that. It's commercialized.
It's effort,
kids get upset when they don't have presents on Christmas, when it's really just about giving and showing other people. And I don't know. Holidays has just become a way of, being selfish, I think.
But I don't think that every woman feels that you have to spend X amount of money. I think that it's the effort to show me that you care and that you put some effort in. Right. And that's where the translation, we get lost in translation when we talk about relationships, is that some women just want you to put forth some effort to show them that you care and not always expect that you're going to get a kickback, just the same way that, guys feel on the flip.
Right. Some women, we're talking about most women. Well, if there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be or some men that are going to be dropping their knees to give an engagement ring on Valentine's Day. And there's going to be some women that are going to be looking at that ring size and like, forget that he even proposed to you. Forget that he even thought you valuable enough to say, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm preparing to spend my life with you. This ring was not big enough. And I know that from firsthand experience. My brother tried to do the same thing, wanted to make this woman an honorable woman. And she went around work asking people, is the ring fake? How many carats is in this ring? Like, forget the fact that he proposed at work. Like, forget all of that. It was more so about, I need to be able to show this ring off to somebody and be like, oh, my man loved me this way.
Did she give any kind of red flags that was the type of woman that she was? I'm pretty sure that she was. It's easy to spot people who are like that.
Right.
They give those telltale signs. So that's why we have to, when someone shows you who they are, you have to believe them. And when we talking about doing things for Valentine's Day, it's not always about the gifts. But if you're going to give a gift, make sure that you think about this stuff through and through. There's a lot of people out here that's going to be breaking their necks to buy designer merchandise.
Right. Yeah.
Despite all of the headlines, black face, racist, this, that, and the third, they're still going to be going out here breaking their necks to get their booze some Gucci.
Yeah. Some.
It is what it is. And that's where we have to do better.
Yeah. And to your point, it's a shame that we're at this stage now where designers can release product and merchandise that they're marketing to those who purchase it, and come on, man, like it's 2019. Like
2019.
People have been getting offended by the BS for a long time, and for you to come out in this day and age with something so offensive. Man, what was the one that has the little Tales from the Hood dolls hanging off the... No, Tales from the Hood? No.
I'm not familiar with what you're talking about.
From the Hood, that's a classic.
Yeah. With the little nigga dolls.
Talking about the product. The product bag.
Yeah, so if you guys are kind of not familiar with what's been going on all through the headlines this week, you've been hearing a lot of celebrities like T.I., Soulja Boy, come out and say that they want to boycott Gucci as well as Prada and Montclair, which are all designer houses that really our Black culture, hip hop culture has definitely made relevant, especially with the resurgence of Gucci. Gucci was big in the 80s. It came back. Even we have a rapper that named himself Gucci.
Yeah.
But still, they found it fitting to release a sweater as well as a face mask that insinuated blackface. And it's very hurtful. Right. You know, we spend a lot of money. People that don't necessarily live a luxury lifestyle save their money, find a way to afford these, articles of clothing. And it's not that they're not aware. And
it's so bad that, people get on radio stations and podcasts with wrinkled, loose Gucci bandanas. So we are definitely investing a lot of money into these companies for them to blatantly spit in our face.
And for me, it's always, we didn't know, and everybody wants to boycott so we can get an apology. But who literally cares at this point? Nobody's stupid. Okay, we fake boycotted H&M for
the coolest
monkey in the jungle. Last year it was Prada. Back in 2014, I think Joe Budden went against Montclair for a bubble jacket that they came out with that also had the blackface connotations. And it's widely known that we are offended, we are woke, we're paying attention, and we're not really going for that. The Black Lives Matter movement has been going strong for a long time now. Y'all know better. But they don't care at the end of the day, and they think that really?
Right.
We're not going to stop supporting them. So they're going to continue to do what they want to do and give these little fake apologies.
But that's because history has shown that we're going to go back to buying it. And it's just a situation in which we as the Black community have to say, you know what? Not only are we boycotting Gucci and Fendi and Prada or whomever else that decides that we're not valuable enough as customers to consider us before releasing this. You not only did you design it, but then you put it out there for purchase. Come on, you didn't even consider us there. But we got to take our dollar to these Black designers, the ones that are in our communities that are trying to create and trying to build and I mean. Facts. You know what I mean?
I got t-shirts for sale. I do. Hit the link in the description.
Facts. Support Black-owned businesses. I hate the fact that we get upset about these designers who, again, don't care about us, but yet we're not funneling our Black dollar into Black-owned designers.
And let's talk about Big Draco, Soulja Boy. Because you feel stupid for having this loose ass Gucci earmuffs on the Breakfast Club. So now you feel silly because you trying to be revolutionary and whatnot, showing us how to make money. Now you don't feel stupid, so you want to come out and be like, okay, let's boycott them.
Right.
I spend too much money. Blah, 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 blah. But you put on a Fendi headband, dog. You didn't think to yourself you couldn't go to any of these Black designers, and there's some reputable guys out there.
Right.
Joey Fresh Goods, you understand? Black by popular demand. HGC Apparel, I think on Instagram.
Right.
They make fly stuff all day, every day. You could have got a up and coming designer that was Black.
Yeah.
But no, you choose the next best thing, which is something that we can't afford. So we're going to then once again be spending all of our hard-earned money on these Italian designers that really don't, they really don't give back to us. They don't support us, and they could care less whether we're rocking their stuff or not.
Facts. I remember back in the day, it was the Starburys. Stefan Marbury had made some shoes, right? And they were only $20. Now at the time he was fire. He was one of the hottest things on the court.
Was not fire.
But you're right. The shoes were on fire, but he made it so that his intentions and thoughts in creating the product is people from the hood that's gonna buy my shoes. I don't need the people from the hood of my community having to spend all these hundreds of dollars for shoes that I'm making for y'all. So, and shout out to Shaq. He was another one of those that felt like he wanted his shoes to be affordable for everybody. And, you know, we can talk about Shaq and, you know, they look like knockoffs or whatever the case may be. But I support black business. I support anything that's just keeping that dollar bill at home. You know, so.
I think that, you know, it's very important for them, you know, to really drive that point home, because for us, we're constantly watching, you know, for our people, this is deep. You know, there's years and years and decades that we couldn't read and write. Right. So we watched these figures to help show us the right way. Like, invest your money in people that matter, in brands that matter, that support the movement. Like, otherwise, we stuck. Right. We're stuck. The same cycle over and over again. Let's hold these people accountable and let's stop with the temporary boycotts and just cut it out all together. Yeah,
exhausting energy on a treadmill is not going nowhere. Absolutely. So, you know. But other things in regards to this blackface is these politicians. Wow. Yeah.
Ew, like, Virginia's in shambles.
What? No.
Virginia's a hot one.
And then, like, for real, like, it sickens me because, you know, when it comes time for us to vote, we only have so many options. Right. And I feel a type of way. You wasted my vote, bro. Yeah. You know, some of these people I supported, you know, and it's just like, geez, and it's blatant to me, you know. When we talk about Governor Ralph Northam, who was the first to come out in his college yearbook, it was in the 80s, so this did not happen in the 60s and the Jim Crow era or any of the above. This happened in the 80s. Okay. He dressed up as blackface. He's now been sworn in. And you're busted. And at this point, now you're doing all this backpedaling and you're not really trying to resign or do anything about it. Just a blanket, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I don't think he should have to resign. We're talking about something that happened 35 years ago. Now, I'm not excusing the action at all. You know, I don't think mocking or being racist or dehumanizing anybody is warranted or acceptable in anybody's eyes. But I'm still not going to hold this man who 35 years ago made an obviously foolish mistake. And the fact that underneath the quote of the picture says, let me pull this up. Says, under the picture, it tells you the maturity. It says that there are a lot more drunk old men than there are old doctors, so pass me another beer. I'm paraphrasing. But if you got that under your medical yearbook, you got that as your quote, and a black face with a Ku Klux Klan hood on beside you or whoever, what's up with the school? How did that get approved? Like, but what that tells me
I agree with you.
What that tells me is,
bro, why do we give him a pass for it?
Because
if he raped your mama 35 years ago, do we give him a pass? I'm just asking. I don't know.
Come on, man. Stop it. No, you reaching with that, sis.
Answer the question.
Of course not. He raped my mom, but that's not the case.
So we're going to give somebody a pass because they did something that we felt is tasteless. Right. But if somebody, but now we got a black man, Justin Fairfax, who is supposed to take in this man's place, and now they're accusing him of the unbelievable, the shit that you yourself as a black man couldn't even forgive, and now we're gonna put that on him, so that way he can't go into this position, and we gonna forgive this white man. Either gonna forgive him or get him out of there, or we're gonna put another Republican in the place of it.
Well, first of all, before we even go into Justin Fairfax, let me go back to Northam. We just said and had this whole big controversy over Kevin Hart and his tweet from 10 years ago. Why are we holding Kevin Hart back from the Oscars? That's what he said in a tweet 10 years ago. This man had a picture from 35 years ago. There's so much growth. There's so much change. There's so much perspective that a person can have in a year, in a short time frame.
We're talking about that. But he's a public official, Kelly.
You're absolutely right. He's a person. He's a human. He's a person.
Absolutely a human, but when you choose to represent the masses, you have a responsibility. To responsibility to protect and provide and to support us all. And when you have, I'm going to let you finish.
You got it.
When you have records like that showing that you ain't for the black people and that you mocking us, you could have changed. You sure could have. But I can't trust you to do that because we have 400 100 years of systematic oppression, and we gonna just give him a smack on the hand for saying or mocking black people? You gotta be fucking silly.
So let's set the record straight. The first interview that he had when he apologized, I think he's just taking accountability. If you look at which you were expecting anybody in this predicament to do, regardless of if it's right or wrong, you want them to take accountability, because whatever the perception is right now, it looks like you're a racist. The very next interview, he says, I discussed this, that, and the third. I don't even think I was in there. My thing is, again, if this, let's say, is an immature, you're 25 years old. Again, your quote says
in the
this.
80s.
Okay.
In the 80s.
Yeah, okay. So what? But my thing is, okay, that's 20 years removed from the civil rights. Obviously, it's a lot more common than we thought, because the next gentleman,
I'm gonna tell you why
Mark Herring, comes out and up front to say, yo, I did it too. Apparently, that's white humor for them back then.
That's why it's an issue, Kelly. It's an issue because you're supposed to protect the masses and support the masses. But what that says to me is, yeah, you might have grown and this, that, and the third. But what it says to me is, when you was in college, you was easily impressionable by the oppressor. So when you click up and you want to get in office and you want to go step up the ladder and get in the White House, you can flip slides, and that's why it's an issue for us.
He can't be easily affected by the oppressor if technically he already is the oppressor.
My exact point. So that's why you dressing up in blackface shows me who you really are.
But again, we don't know for sure.
And we're gonna give somebody a pass to represent our people. Did you get your 40 acres in a mule? Did you get your 40 acres in a mule?
My whole thing is,
no. Do they keep killing us? Yes. Do the cops keep getting off?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Sure. But cops are killing everybody. We're just putting the joints on camera, and it happens to be our color, so we're effectively different. And we
affected different.
Of course, it hurts.
We get injustice when a white guy goes out and shoots some shit up. Oh, he's crazy. He's got mental issues. When a black guy goes and does it, oh, it's an issue. Or, he's a terrorist. He's Al Qaeda. He's this, that, and the third. It's no different when a white person shoots up a school or whatever.
Right.
Or a white person is on drugs, is opioid addiction. When a black person's doing it's a crack epidemic, and they put them under the jail.
Yeah, but we know media is that. You're absolutely right. Media will say whatever it wants to say about whomever it wants to talk about. The media will do whatever it wants to do.
This was all a setup, Kelly. How you can't see it's a setup?
Okay, but
this shit happened 30 years ago.
I'm gonna let you finish. But one of the things that the gentleman says, and I looked at it, he was also referred to under his yearbook as Goose and Coonman. All right. Now, people looked at it as one way. I'm looking at that. To me, you calling a white man a coonman sounds like you're calling him a nigger lover. If I called a white man you're a coonman, you're a nigger lover. If he was racist, and let's say this was really something he posted,
I don't get that.
How do you not? If you call a white man a coonman, what you call him?
Was he?
What you mean?
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it means. I know that it was racist as fuck. Oh. It shouldn't be excused. And for anybody to sit here and feel like, oh, we should just forget it and we should just move on. You're really forgetting the big issue that this is systemic oppression that has happened for years and years and years. And the government had a say in this because this guy did this 30 years ago. It's just now coming out. It's because they want the checks and balances to be off. They want the Republicans to run everything. So they're going to run Northam in the ground. They're going to run Fairfax in the ground so a black man can't take his seat. But what did they do? They did it with the most despicable stuff. And they're trying to press for this guy to resign for sexual assault accusations. Right. Which is crazy. I don't support him. If he did it, I'm mad that I voted for him. It's not right. I'm sorry for these women. But at the same token, let the FBI do their investigation before saying he's going to step down. These motherfuckers, though, on the other hand, said they did it. They don't care because they think that y'all, these modern slaves, is going to shut up, take it, and say, oh, just forgive them. I was different when I was 15. Fuck that. You ain't trying to be the president.
But that's real.
You're not trying to be the president.
But if I'm trying to be the president, they can easily go to my Facebook from 30 years ago and say, Kel, you said this shit.
Absolutely, and you're not fit. You're not fit.
No, it's because of something I said 30 years ago? Stop it. Get out of here. You can't say that you're the same Brittany from 5 years ago. You're thinking... I'm not saying Brittany, but I'm going to stand by. If I said some silly stuff, I don't have no place. I don't have no place trying to take public office and represent these people because they have been through the most. Yeah, but you... And got nothing. No respect, no nothing. They still out here. Nobody is clean. Nobody is clean. If you look
nobody is clean, but everybody looks out for all of these other races and we just supposed to keep it moving.
Right, but we're not talking about looking out for other races. We're talking about this gentleman right here.
Yeah.
So talking about, because you brought him up, Justin Fairfax. He's the lieutenant governor of Virginia that is supposed to be, if Governor Ralph Northam does step down and resign, he is to be taking his place. And like most men in this day and age, as of right now, he is being real. He is being caught and swept up in it. Now, just as a backstory, he actually was charged before, or accused before. This is actually his second accusation. But this one particularly is about a woman that she claimed and accusing him of rape back in Duke University in 2000. Per the statement from Nancy Erica Smith, which is the attorney for Meredith Watson, was that, and this is, I'm going to just take a piece of this. It says, former classmates are corroborating that Miss Watson immediately told friends that Mr. Fairfax had raped her. Wow, 19 years later, we're now talking about this. If friends are corroborating that back then, she immediately, immediately, he would be in jail. A black man raping somebody would immediately put him in jail. But the fact that
she was also a black woman, if I'm not mistaken. Both of these accusers are black women, which is really important to know, because the other lady, I think her name is Vanessa Tyson, she is like really huge in terms of, she's like a professor for black race studies as well as domestic violence, because she had been raped as a child, and she accused him of forcing her to perform oral in an aggressive manner at the 2004 Democratic National Convention.
Right, yeah. And another part that was a part of his statement that as you stated earlier, it says, I have nothing to hide. I have passed 2 full field background checks by the FBI and have run for office for 2 highly contested elections, and nothing like this has come up before. That's a red flag to me. Again, I pray truth comes out and that all parties are heard and the cases are being brought up. But it's red flags all over the joint, man. I just hate that when, and as you stated, a black man is moving into a position where he can affect change if he's not already in that position with being a lieutenant governor, that now all of a sudden, now we got to throw this flag out on the plate. No, he can't do it.
I think it's the government. I think that they are playing.
So it's the government for Justin Fairfax, but it's not the government.
No, it is the government for all of that.
Okay.
Because they want to throw off the balance, and if Northam go, and then we say that Fairfax can't take it because he done raped 2 girls, and this is part of the Me Too movement, then the only other option is for us to slide another Republican in there.
All right. Or the next guy, who is Mark Herring, which is the Attorney General, who stepped up and pretty much admitted that he dressed in blackface at a 1980 college party when he attended UVA. So it just sounds like, obviously, this was the wave for white people at some point in time. And now, because we are now putting an emphasis on making sure that all parties are representative, all parties have their voice, that you don't disrespect nobody. Because I'm sure at some point in time, there are some homosexual slurs that you just couldn't use. Or that you said and nobody said anything, but now it's an offensive term. It's the same thing. I'm sure these white people were doing this thing and had no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't care. You know what I mean? This is just our humor. And now that it's coming to light, where we now can dig up your past, we now can say, yo, this is what you was doing back out there.
I think it's a little bit insensitive, in all fairness, to victims to say, like, well, why didn't you speak up about this sooner? I definitely agree. I have cousins who are in jail on rape cases, on some stuff that was consensual. Everything seems to be consensual, but the issue is the girl wouldn't do a rape kit. So it leaves that question mark up in the air. But I don't think that we should automatically beat up or discredit the accusers for not coming and speaking up about it sooner.
She did speak up soon. According to her attorney, she immediately told friends that Mr. Fairfax had raped her. If she immediately came forth with this information back in 2000, that's what I'm saying. He would have already had a record. He'd have already been at least in the system.
Are you saying that her attorney is lying?
No, I'm saying that she's probably lying. That's what I believe. I mean,
I know that it's in terms of Meredith Watson. I didn't hear this piece about her corroborating with her friends immediately after, but I do know that there was an email thread when she was at work. And it was in regards to Justin Fairfax, and she responded to, I don't know if it was an assistant or secretary, requesting that she make sure that she no longer gets any emails in regards to Justin Fairfax, as he had raped her in college back at Duke. I don't know what the issue is. I don't want to throw shade at him, and I'm definitely not here to throw shade at her. I definitely want to more so shine light on the fact that there's a big picture behind this. And you know, they want it to be this dialogue. They want us to forget and not say anything. They want us to, you know, to really string him up and crucify our own. And I just don't think that it's right to down these Black women for accusing him or for we need to find out what happened. Let's find out what the facts are.
But why are you offering the benefit of doubt for him, but not offering the benefit of doubt for nobody else?
Because they admitted that they dressed up in blackface.
No.
They said, oh no, it wasn't me. I don't know who it was. Can you guys do a facial recognition? And I said, well, guys, we need to wait until the facts come out. You admitted to doing it. Justin said, I ain't do it. It was consensual. They let me hit. And when it comes to Vanessa Tyson, beautiful woman, very smart, you know, she has some trauma in her life, and, you know, that's really been her life goal. So I feel that when working through these things, and there's a mental aspect when it comes along with that, and you're doing this work more openly in your job, you feel that responsibility to speak up and to be like, look, this guy has a really impactful role. But unfortunately for me, like, I just don't quite understand her testimony, because you're a grown woman. Y'all are both campaign aides at the 2004 Democratic National Convention, and you say that he forced you aggressively to perform oral. And I don't know, I'm a big girl, and if Kelly says, Brittany, I'm gonna force you to give oral, I know I have all of my fronts. I'm gonna bite it off.
Bite down.
You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be without one of his balls. I'm going to tell him, oh, hold on, let me go get freshened up real quick, and I'm coming up with a plan to really, you understand what I'm saying?
But again, I think, and this could probably be for a completely different show, but it comes in the point where it literally comes down to somebody's word. Yeah, he said he did this, or she said he did this. Man.
But there is a...
Pull it out. Because women be reckless, man.
Women love that attention. I would like to point out that there is an acquaintance both of Vanessa Tyson as well as Fairfax that says that he knew both of them. He, as a matter of fact, dated Tyson as well in the 90s, you know, in 90s, 2000, when all of this stuff was occurring. And he stated that she was very vocal when her boyfriends would do things that she felt like were misogynistic or insensitive to domestic abuse or sexual abuse victims. She would be very vocal about that. And in their personal relationship, he also mentioned she was very vocal about the fact that oral was one of the things that would not go down, because she was a victim of rape or molestation at a young age, you know, in her household. And due to her trauma with that was just off bounds, and she made that very clear. So that was kind of something that stuck out to me, because if that's what that's a trigger for you with your trauma, and somebody asks you to do it, you know, like, I mean, that sounds might be a personal thing.
That sounds so she voiced that I have a traumatic experience connected to fellatio.
Correct.
And not only does he know that, but he then forces you to
that's not what she said. This is an acquaintance of hers and his. This acquaintance knows them both. He wanted to remain confidential because there's so much smoke around this.
Right.
And he said that he used to mess with Vanessa back in the day. And when messing with her, she was vocal, and she was very opinionated about her stances, was clear about it. And in their intimate settings, she was very clear and vocal that fellatio was a no-go. It wasn't going to happen. So that tells me that there is a trigger for her. And I don't know what happened in the room with her and Justin, but she felt uncomfortable. And who knows what the reality could have been versus what she was perceiving. Right. You know, and that's the kind of murky thing. What I want to say is, again, y'all gotta be smarter than this. This is all a damn setup. It's all a setup. And don't think that Trump and ugly Huckabee ain't up here, you know, trying to finesse us all. Like, y'all gotta think smarter. Make sure that you reserve your judgment until you can get some facts out here. And
men, be careful, man. Be careful. That's like they trying to get us out here, man. Like, just be careful, man. I ain't saying make every
dick contract.
Right, yo. Like we need to go into a notarized agreement before we do anything because it's just
I need X amount in child support
because it automatically comes down to it's what she said, and that goes back down to gender roles. Yeah, I mean, because the man is obviously is the more physical specimen. Obviously, he could have done this, or we should already give her the benefit of doubt, saying, "Oh, he could have forced it. He's a man."
I don't know, like, how do you force oral?
Yeah,
how do you do that?
Because that would be because you got to open up the mouth. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't.
You can force oral.
How do you force oral?
Well, if you're the man and the woman is intimidated by you, your aggression can force someone to do something they may not want to do.
But you're at a 2004 convention,
or a weapon can be used in the midst of it. Any of y'all seen Sugar Hill?
Oh, okay.
Remember Sugar? If you guys remember the old movie Sugar Hill?
So I think those are really important details that we need to know.
Absolutely, and keep this in mind too. Just
that makes sense. I can see that. I can't see you being aggressive, like, yo, like, you gonna have to black my eye if I don't want to suck it. I'm not.
Right, and you at a Democratic convention, like, there's people we're gonna be in front of people. Right. I just can't see it, you know.
But and keep this in mind. Just to throw this out there on top of what you guys already discussed. If all three of these officials, Norcom, Fairfax, Herring, step down, then the Speaker of the House, who's Kirk Cox, who's a Republican, takes over the governorship. So that even adds to the bigger picture as to why is all of this stuff coming out.
That's
right
what they
now.
want. That's exactly what they want, for everybody to be mad and hateful and not to pay attention.
Yeah,
and
we gotta find Trump in the office, and then you got the Republicans stepping into office. It's just, you know, it's
just bad on bad on bad.
Man.
And y'all need to wake up. Yeah, y'all need to realize what's going on. Take a stand. Support your own. Speak up. Do something. Stop giving people passes that don't deserve it.
Yeah, we extend grace to people, man, because we all need grace. Matter of fact, go love on somebody today. Go do a love language. Find your love language for this upcoming holiday, and find out how you can love on somebody. That way, if your love language is not the sign of gifts, then that's why you can tell them you ain't give them nothing on Valentine's Day. Because that ain't my love language.
But when she put that box in your head and say, "Give me some," we don't want to hear nothing.
Hey, look, she forcibly made me do it. Yeah. But hey, look, man, I had a good time, man.
Me too. I love arguing with you.
I know,
you
man.
be just so loud and wrong. If you agree with me, leave a comment.
Oh my gosh, yeah, how can you win against it? Like, oh my gosh. Hey, we thank you again, man. Third time's the charm, man. We love you. This is a difference of opinion. Power.